All right, so we have our nasal bone right here. Next, we will have our lacrimal bone. That's going to be kind of like this inner eye-ish area. Be a bone in there. Then we have our maxillary, which will be this bone. Next, we'll have our zygomatic bones. So that'll be this area, like cheek, and then on the other side as well. We'll have our temporal bone. So that'll be right here. We have our palatine bone. Now, you can't really see it on the model, but it would be like the very back, towards the roof of your mouth, right back in there. We'll have our parietal bone, so that will be like the back of the head here. Be right in here. Okay. Next, we have our frontal bone, right up here. We have our ethmoid bone. So this is kind of going to be in like the middle of the face. It'll be behind both eyes. You can't see it on the model, but it'll be right in here. We have the vomer, which will be this bone. We have our sphenoid. It's going to be kind of behind the eyes. We have the mandible, which is this bone right here. We have our occipital bone, which will be very back of the skull. Okay. Be this bone right in here. Right. Next we have the hyoid, right up here. Can't really see out in the model, but it'll be the bone that's like right up here. We have the sternum. Then we have cervical vertebrae 1 through 7. So if we flip our model around, be the first 7 vertebrae up here. Next we'll have our thoracic vertebrae 1 through 12. So it'll be the 12 vertebrae right in here. Next we'll have the lumbar vertebrae 1 through 5. Be the 5 in the lower back area. Next we'll have the sacrum, this bone, and then our coccyx, this pointy little bone at the very ends. We have the scapula, these bones. Then we'll have the clavicle, it's also known as the collarbone. This bone right here. We will then have the humerus, these bones. Getting down to our lower arm bones. On my model, he's not in anatomical position. So in anatomical position, palms are facing out. As you can see in my model, the back of the hand is facing us. So it'll be switched in my model. But my model, the radius will be right here, ulna right here. If he was in anatomical position, it would be reversed. Then we have our carpals, so that's going to be these bones right in here, the wrist area. Then we will have our metacarpals, which will be these bones. We'll then have the proximal phalange. It's going to be these guys. We'll then have the myophalange, be these guys. And then we'll have the distal phalanges, which will be the very tips of the bones over there. We'll have the ilium, which will be this bone. We'll have the ischium, that's going to be this bone. We'll have the pubis. Then we'll have the femur, patella, and then we have our 2 lower leg bones. The larger of the 2 is the tibia, be right here, and then our fibia, the smaller of the 2. We'll have the talus right in here. We'll have the tarsals, which will be these guys. And then lastly, we'll have our metatarsals, which will be these.